Genesis 7. Chapter 7, verse 1. And the Lord said to him, Enter the ark, you and all your house, for I have seen you to be just in my sight within this generation. Chapter 7, verse 2. From all the clean animals take 7 and 7, the male and the female. Yet truly, from animals that are unclean, take 2 and 2, the male and the female. Chapter 7, verse 3. But also from the birds of the air. Take 7 and 7, the male and the female, so that offspring may be saved upon the face of the whole earth. Chapter 7, verse 4. For from that point, and after 7 days, I will rain upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. And I will wipe away every substance that I have made from the surface of the earth. Chapter 7, verse 5. Therefore Noah did all things just as the Lord had commanded him. Chapter 7, verse 6. And he was 600 years old when the waters of the great flood inundated the earth. Chapter 7, verse 7. And Noah entered into the ark, and his sons, his wife, and the wives of his sons with him, because of the waters of the great flood. Chapter 7, verse 8. And from the animals both clean and unclean, and from the birds and from everything that moves upon the earth. Chapter 7, verse 9, 2 by 2. They were brought into the ark to Noah, male and female, just as the Lord had instructed Noah. Chapter 7, verse 10. And when 7 days had passed, the waters of the great flood inundated the earth. Chapter 7, verse 11. In the 600th year of the life of Noah, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, all the fountains of the great abyss were released, and the floodgates of heaven were opened. Chapter 7, verse 12. And rain came upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. Chapter 7, verse 13. On the very same day, Noah and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and his wife and the 3 wives of his sons with them, entered the ark. Chapter 7, verse 14. They and every animal according to its kind, and all the cattle in their kind, and everything that moves upon the earth in their kind, and every flying thing, according to its kind, all the birds and all that can fly. Chapter 7, verse 15. Entered the ark to Noah, 2 by 2 out of all that is flesh, in which there was the breath of life. Chapter 7, verse 16. And those that entered went in male and female, from all that is flesh, just as God had instructed him. And then the Lord closed him in from the outside. Chapter 7, verse 17. And the great flood occurred for 40 days upon the earth. And the waters were increased, and they lifted the ark high above the land. Chapter 7, verse 18. For they overflowed greatly, and they filled everything on the surface of the earth. And then the ark was carried across the waters. Chapter 7, verse 19. And the waters prevailed beyond measure across the earth, and all the lofty mountains under the whole heaven were covered. Chapter 7, verse 20. The water was 15 cubits higher than the mountains which it covered. Chapter 7, verse 21. And all flesh was consumed which moved upon the earth, flying things, animals, wild beasts, and all moving things that crawl upon the ground, and all men. Chapter 7, verse 22. And everything in which there is the breath of life on earth died. Chapter 7, verse 23. And he wiped away all substance that was upon the earth, from man to animal, the crawling things just as much as the flying things of the air, and they were wiped away from the earth. But only Noah remained, and those who were with him in the ark. Chapter 7, verse 24. And the waters possessed the earth for 150 days. Genesis 8. Chapter 8, verse 1. Then God remembered Noah, and all living things, and all the cattle, which were with him in the ark. And he brought a wind across the earth, and the waters were diminished. Chapter 8, verse 2. And the fountains of the abyss and the floodgates of heaven were closed. and the rain from heaven was restrained. Chapter 8, verse 3, and the waters were restored to their coming and going from the earth. And they began to diminish after 150 days. Chapter 8, verse 4, and the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 27th day of the month, upon the mountains of Armenia. Chapter 8, verse 5, yet in truth the waters were departing and decreasing until the 10th month. For in the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, the tips of the mountains appeared. Chapter 8, verse 6, and when 40 days had passed, Noah, opening the window that he had made in the ark, sent forth a raven. Chapter 8, verse 7, which went forth and did not return, until the waters were dried up across the earth. Chapter 8, verse 8, likewise he sent forth a dove after him, in order to see if the waters had now ceased upon the face of the earth. Chapter 8, verse 9, but when she did not find a place where her foot might rest, she returned to him in the ark. For the waters were upon the whole earth, and he extended his hand and caught her, and he brought her into the ark. Chapter 8, verse 10, and then, having waited a further 7 days, he again sent forth the dove out of the ark. Chapter 8, verse 11, and she came to him in the evening, carrying in her mouth an olive branch with green leaves. Noah then understood that the waters had ceased upon the earth. Chapter 8, verse 12, and nevertheless he waited another 7 days. And he sent forth the dove, which no longer returned to him. Chapter 8, verse 13, therefore in the 601st year, in the 1st month, on the 1st day of the month, the waters were diminished upon the earth, and Noah, opening the cover of the ark, gazed out and saw that the surface of the earth had become dry. Chapter 8, verse 14, in the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was made dry. Chapter 8, verse 15, then God spoke to Noah, saying, Chapter 8, verse 16, go out of the ark, you and your wife, your sons, and the wives of your sons with you. Chapter 8, verse 17, bring out with you all the living things that are with you, all that is flesh, as with the birds. So also with the wild beasts and all the animals that move upon the earth. And enter upon the land increase, and multiply upon it. Chapter 8, verse 18, and so Noah and his sons went out, and his wife and the wives of his sons with him. Chapter 8, verse 19, then also all living things, and the cattle, and the animals that move upon the earth, according to their kinds, departed from the ark. Chapter 8, verse 20, then Noah built an altar to the Lord. And, taking from each of the cattle and birds that were clean, he offered holocausts upon the altar. Chapter 8, verse 21, and the Lord smelled the sweet odor, and said, I will no longer curse the earth because of man, for the feelings and thoughts of the heart of man are prone to evil from his youth. Therefore I will no longer pierce every living soul as I have done. Chapter 8, verse 22, all the days of the earth, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, night and day will not cease. Genesis 9. Chapter 9, verse 1, and God blessed Noah and his sons. And he said to them, increase and multiply and fill the earth. Chapter 9, verse 2, and let the fear and trembling of you be upon all the animals of the earth, and upon all the birds of the air, along with all that moves across the earth. All the fish of the sea have been delivered into your hand. Chapter 9, verse 3, and everything that moves and lives will be food for you. Just as with the edible plants, I have delivered them all to you. Chapter 9, verse 4, except that flesh with blood you shall not eat. Chapter 9, verse 5, for I will examine the blood of your lives at the hand of every beast. So also at the hand of mankind, at the hand of each man and his brother, I will examine the life of mankind. Chapter 9, verse 6, whoever will shed human blood, his blood will be poured out. for man was indeed made to the image of God. Chapter 9, verse 7. But as for you, increase and multiply, and go forth upon the earth and fulfill it. Chapter 9, verse 8. To Noah and to his sons with him, God also said this. Chapter 9, verse 9. Behold, I will establish my covenant with you and with your offspring after you. Chapter 9, verse 10. And with every living soul that is with you, as much with the birds, as with the cattle and all the animals of the earth that have gone forth from the ark, and with all the wild beasts of the earth. Chapter 9, verse 11. I will establish my covenant with you, and no longer will all that is flesh be put to death by the waters of a great flood, and henceforth there will not be a great flood to utterly destroy the earth. Chapter 9, verse 12. And God said, This is the sign of the pact that I grant between me and you, and to every living soul that is with you, for perpetual generations. Chapter 9, verse 13. I will place my ark in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the pact between myself and the earth. Chapter 9, verse 14. And when I obscure the sky with clouds, my ark will appear in the clouds. Chapter 9, verse 15. And I will remember my covenant with you and with every living soul that enlivens flesh. And there will no longer be waters from a great flood to wipe away all that is flesh. Chapter 9, verse 16. And the ark will be in the clouds, and I will see it, and I will remember the everlasting covenant that was enacted between God and every living soul of all that is flesh upon the earth. Chapter 9, verse 17. And God said to Noah, This will be the sign of the covenant that I have established between myself and all that is flesh upon the earth. Chapter 9, verse 18. And so the sons of Noah, who came out of the ark, were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now Ham himself is the father of Canaan. Chapter 9, verse 19. These three are the sons of Noah. And from these all the family of mankind was spread over the whole earth. Chapter 9, verse 20. And Noah, a good farmer, began to cultivate the land, and he planted a vineyard. See,